Tuia I runga, tuia I raro, tuia te heringa tangata, homie huie taikie. No mai whakatau mai, welcome to Ōtautahi Christchurch and the dawning of a new era for women's basketball in Aotearoa. GJ Gardner Holmes, Tauihi Basketball Aotearoa tips off tonight, a league built on equality, opportunity and professionalism. Kia ora, a very good evening to you. Hugh Bain here alongside Phil Jones on a historical night, Phil, for women's basketball here in Aotearoa. The Mainland Pouākai and the Southern Hoiho tipping off the inaugural Tauihi Basketball Aotearoa.
Kia ora, Hugh. Yeah, exciting times for Tauihi basketball, and exciting to see women's basketball back on the floors of New Zealand basketball stadiums around the country, and it's going to be a fun night.
Back on the floors and live on your screens, of course, thanks to Sky Sport, and it wouldn't have happened without the investment that they put into the women's game and the game in general here in Aotearoa. So here we are, ready to go. Much talk, much hype in the build-up to this season, the inaugural season. We've got a sold-out Cowles Stadium and many more to come over the course of the next 8 weeks as we see the inaugural round, the opening round of Tauihi, the Tokomanawa Queens out of the central region taking on Fire. Then Sunday lunchtime, the Hoiho back in action against the Northern Kahu, who are the Auckland, Northland-based side, and the Kahu back in action against the Queens in Pukekohe on Monday at 7 o'clock. It is coming thick, it is coming fast at you over the next 8 weeks, and combined with the Sales NBL, our men's competition, we have 72 games in the next 59 days. Every single one of them live right here on Sky Sport. Let's get into this one, shall we? The starting lineup for the first ever game for the Southern Hoiho. Tori Dugan, an Australian, at the point guard with Kiwi Olivia O'Neill. Samara Gallagher, what a story for the former Tulfern. We'll get into that later in the broadcast. On the wing, Lena Snyder, an American, and Tulfern Zoe Richards in the front court. Their Australian coach, Charles Nix.
Welcome to New Zealand. Obviously, first game of the season. How's the team shaping up?
Yeah, firstly, thank you. Very, very happy to be here in New Zealand. The people are wonderful. The team are good. Like, they put so much work in over the pre-season, and it seems like such a long build-up to this league that everyone's eager and just ready to play.
And the roster's full, and you've got some players. Anyone in particular we should be keeping an eye on?
I think Sammy Gallagher. I think the fact that she's had that time off and got over some real injury concerns a few years ago, and she's come in super motivated and working hard every day. And yeah, I think she's going to just remind some people of just the talent that she has. And probably the other one, Lena Schneider, coming out of Luxembourg, and she's played in a few nice leagues in Europe as well, and in Australia. But she's super dynamic and super versatile. So they're probably the two I'd say to watch out for now.
Okay, good luck for the game.
Well, there's Ella Fotu. She'll be coming off the bench for the Pouākai, fresh off the plane from the 3x3 Tulfern's campaign at the World Cup. So a little bit jaded is Ella. Let's have a look at the starting lineup. Sierra Walker, an American in the backcourt with Tulfern, Lauren Hippolyte. Another Tulfern on the wing, Mary Golding, and an American/Kiwi front court with Erin Whalen and Tulfern Tessa Boagni. Another Australian coach, Tali Bevilacqua for the Pouākai.
Tali, first game of the season, obviously pretty excited. How's preparation been?
Well, it's been a mixed bag. We started out with 5-6 players at practice, and our numbers have grown as we've had our imports come and join us. And so this is the first time we'll have our full roster together, and it's pretty exciting, and it's a good feeling, and they're ready to go.
And you've obviously got some players that we need to keep an eye out for. Anyone in particular we should watch?
Well, as I said, we have imports, Erin Whalen, Sierra Walker, point guard, and we've also got Trinity Baptiste are our 3 imports. But also you need to keep an eye on the locals as well. I mean, Tessa Boagni is working her way back into form and fitness. You've got Lauren Goulding, you've got, Mary Goulding, Lauren Hippolyte, who have come back from the Australian leagues. They're ready and raring to go, and they're all looking forward to playing on home soil. So, that to me is ultimately what this is all about right now, is the New Zealand players getting to play on their home soil.
I wish you all the best for the game. Thank you.
Well, she's a 3-time Olympian and a former WNBA player, great ambassador to have in the country and a great educator for this young Mainland Pouākai side. Phil, awesome to have the likes of Tali Bevilacqua here.
Yeah, obviously she brings a lot of experience and knowledge to the floors of the basketball courts in New Zealand, and she'll be, her players will be more than welcoming her experience and her sharing that with them. And she, talking to her before the game, she's super excited about the opportunity to coach here, and wishing her all the best for the season.
Absolutely, we can look at the head-to-head. There is Tully Bevilacqua and Charles Nix, two Aussies. Only two Aussie coaches in our 5-team league going at each other in this one. Tori Dugan, another one, the import guard out of Western Australia, was named the Canadian College Athletic Association Women's Basketball Player of the Year in 2022. So fresh off some good personal achievements for Tori Dugan up against American and Erin Whalen. Trinity Baptiste is one to watch for the Mainland Pouākai, and one of the big spots alongside, of course, Tessa Boagni. We talk about our local stars. Great to see some tall ferns returning home, Phil. Tessa Boagni and Zoe Richards. Zoe Richards recently been playing on Australia, so great to see them back on home soil.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of intriguing matchups to come, and obviously there's some unknowns in those matchups and players that we haven't seen play before, but Zoe Richards and Tessa Boagni, we've seen a lot of them and we know what they can do, and they'll be pivotal for both of their teams tonight.
Look at the referees, and speaking of welcome back, Marty Davidson in the middle, crew chief, making his return in 2022, recovering from an ACL surgery. So welcome back to Marty Davidson, and he'll be alongside Hamish Dale and Tony Lee Smith-Hunwick on this historic night, and it's certainly not lost on the referees. Had a chat with them before, and absolutely over the moon to be involved in the first ever game of GJ Gardner Tauihi. As are all these players, and what a fantastic place to start. Cowles Stadium buzzing tonight, a huge crowd, the biggest one they've seen all season, and the Rams have had fantastic crowds in the Sales NBL. Talking to Caleb Harrison, the general manager of both the Rams and the Pouākai, he's absolutely over the moon with how ticket sales have gone, and the atmosphere in the building tonight, Phil.
Yeah, it's very loud in here again. Every time we come down here, whether it be obviously for the Sales NBL, it is a tough place to commentate because it's so noisy, and tonight's no different. And I'm sure the women on the court are going to definitely put on a show for the spectators, and there'll be plenty of noise to come.
There's Marty Davidson striding out to the middle of the court, ball in hands as we get ready to begin a new era here in women's basketball in Aotearoa, as Tessa Boagni and Lena Snyder will contest the tip in the new colours of 2 of 5 new teams. And it's the Mainland Pouākai who will get us started. Matchups all over the court. Here's Erin Whalen. First look at the ball here in New Zealand for her. Lauren Hippolyte turns the corner. Finds her Tallfern teammate Mary Golding, and she's just stepped on the baseline. Has Golding recovering from a tummy bug that's been all over New Zealand over the past week is Mary.
Yeah, and I'm sure that talking to her before the game, she's got a little bit of nerves out there, and probably an opportunity to put an early shot up there, but thought differently and try to penetrate to the hoop and just stood on the line.
There's Samara Gallagher chasing down that ball. I promised a little bit more on her story, well publicised in the last week. Former Tallfern as a teenager, but then 9 concussions over her short career, mainly in Australia. Put her out of the game for 5 years, and some extensive mental and physical rehab. Brought her back to her hometown of Dunedin, as Olivia O'Neill fights hard off the much bigger Tessa Boagni for the rebound. And they're the first points. Tauihi Basketball Aotearoa, they go the way of Lena Snyder and the Southern Hoiho.
Watching Snyder in the warm-up, she's definitely somebody that the Pouākai have to keep an eye on. She can shoot. She wasn't missing in the warm-ups.
Shot comes up here, doesn't go down for Whalen, and Hoiho come the other way through Snyder. Here's Gallagher. Snyder looking aggressive early up with the left, backs it in off the glass.
A nice take to the basket there by Snyder.
And a fantastic 4-year college career in Div 2 for Ashland University in Ohio. Finished there as their all-time leading scorer and rebounder and steals as well, as Boagni's 3 is just off. O'Neill with the board. So some serious talent here in Aotearoa in 2022 for the start of this one. Zoe Richards, the local hero from Dunedin. Will that bounce? Doesn't go in. Boagni with the board.
In and out. Zoe Richards, and the Hoiho is just looking a little bit more settled at the moment. At the start of the game.
This Golding been playing over in WNBL in Australia in the past year. Waiting to muscle her way in. Strong move, and it drops. Erin Whalen, her first points for the Mainland Pouākai. Richards looking for someone to hand it off to. That's Tori Dugan. Small, fast, and a great find to Sammy Gallagher. Drains the three from the corner.
Yeah, great find by Dugan. 2 feet in the paint. We talk about that a lot. This penetration to the middle of the keyhole and then finding a wide open Gallagher in the corner.
So a fast start for the Southern Hoiho. As Golding finds good position down low with the right hook. Doesn't go. Gallagher comes down with the board. Sends her import inside. Dugan, quick first step. Snyder from the Racine free throw line. Can't get it to go. Another rebound for Boagni. Look aside to the Pouākai. Bowed out by Hippolyte, and Sierra Walker comes up with the ball. Whalen driving through on the shot clock. Up with the left. Nice finish. Strong finish. Erin Whalen.
Good patience by the Pouākai. Just managing to get a finish at the rim there by Whalen.
Gallagher driving. Boagni brings it down again. Oh, Lauren Hippolyte is wide open in the open court. She's found. And that'll be the easiest basket for her this season.
I would say so.
Lauren Hippolyte, originally Nelsonian, moved to Christchurch. In her later schooling, made her way into the Tulfern squad over the last year as Richards' 3-ball is off. Our first subs of the season. We'll see Bronwyn Kistrup, Dr. Kistrup come into the game, and Jeanette Mawate Breen for the Hoiho. Tessa Morrison comes into the game for the Mainland Pouākai. Incredibly popular member of the Basketball New Zealand community is Tessa, so plenty of fans in the building tonight as we get a bit of pressure here from Dugan, from Mawate Breen I should say, from the Hoiho. Good hand, Lena Snyder everywhere early, and there she is finishing off the points from the turnover.
Snyder really putting a footprint on this game in the early parts of it.
Hippolyte around the Snyder screen, track throw, and they do well to get out of it, the Pouākai, and it's Whalen who finishes it off.
A great ball movement by the Pouākai there.
Foul there is Tessa Morrison. Sandwiches Bronwyn Kestrup in between herself and referee Hamish Dale.
You just see that previous play from the Pouākai with the on-ball on the sideline and then quickly throwing it out and Whalen diving to the hoop. And, you know, if you can move the ball quickly out of on-balls, you'll find open players, and they did a good job of that.
You see on the left of your screen, 2 newest players into the game. Tsubasa Nesbitt, Kiwi, back from college, playing for the Mainland Pouākai as the 3-ball drops. Bronwyn Kestrup, Dr. Kestrup, a doctor at Dunedin Hospital. Balancing basketball again with helping people, which is always great to see. Here's Erin Whalen. The size is up. The sizable Selby Cheslick, who's into the game for the Hoiho, all 6'5" of her. Fresh off the plane, had her first practice today with the Hoiho. As Morrison dives deep, finds Whalen in the corner. 3-ball Erin Whalen. Was the Lena Snyder and Erin Whalen show so far, Phil?
Yeah, it sure is. A great find by Morrison.
We go inside to Shelby Cheslick. Fires it over to Olivia O'Neill. 3-ball up. The back iron. Who's going to come down with that one? Erin Whalen is. She puts the ball on the floor immediately. Nisbet resets. Here's Morrison. Hippolyte thought about the 3. Fires it out to Whalen. Sierra Walker wants to screen. Good defense from O'Neill, and they've got to put a deep 3-ball up to Whalen. It doesn't go. Cheslick with one of what I assume will be many rebounds this season. She's rebounded everywhere she's played in her career, which has included many a stop overseas. O'Neill, great pass into Snyder.
Beautiful pass. Both teams playing with really good patience, and obviously Whalen had to chuck up a shot at the end of the shot clock previously, but both teams are getting good looks. We see another one here. Hippolyte knocks it down. And that's something that Lauren Hippolyte is more than capable of doing, is shooting the free ball.
Spent the WNBL season with the Melbourne Boomers as a development player. They won the championship, of course, so not a bad way to spend the season. Here's Morrison in rhythm into a three. Down it goes, Tessa Morrison for three.
Nice little fast break there by the Pouākai.
Mawate Green back to Snyder, launches a three of her own. That one just off. Morrison, good box out, and Nisbet comes down with the ball. That one just tipped out of bounds. I think it was a double tip. It was. Last touch by Hippolyte.
Schneider again all over the Pouākai. The defensive tip there, and she earns herself a bit of a rest on the bench.
So Zoe Richards into the game, as is Alicia Rusk for the Hoiho. Tarai Elia in for the Pouākai as Hippolyte commits a foul. Mawate Breen.
Tuvasa Nisbet checking in for Wayland and giving her a well-earned rest. Wayland's had a whale at the start of the game, really.
She has. She's been everywhere. Cheslett. Richards looking inside. Cheslett. Turn and shoot. Good defense though there. Trinity Baptiste with the defense as Tessa Morrison again in transition, again puts the three ball out. That one doesn't go. Elliott keeps it in bounds. Hippolyte calls for the screen, gets it from Nisbet. And Lauren Hippolyte high off the glass and the smart finish.
Lauren Hippolyte is obviously a component of 3x3 as well, so she's more than adept at penetrating to the basket and taking contact and finishing. She showed that right there.
Shot up from Mawate Green doesn't go. So more subs here. Hippolyte brings the ball up. Here's Nisbet. Morrison calls for the screen. Baptiste just off to her right shoulder. Morrison into the lane, and that is on off a Hoiho hand. I'm just going to check here the score benches. We might have an unlisted player on the court, Phil. It's just going to be discussed.
Yeah, I was just looking at, I've got a box score sitting here in front of me, and I can see that there's no number 15 listed on the Hoiho team list. Referee
Marty Davison, crew chief Marty Davison, just going to sort things out. We saw the media launch, of course, Phil, of Tauihi Basketball Aotearoa last week. Fantastic photos taken at Ardmore Air Base up in Auckland.
Change the number, so it was number 6, we can change it to number 15.
Alicia Rusk. Sorry, number 7.
Tyler Mitchell. Looking at Tyler Mitchell's had her number changed, so Marty Davidson all over it. So the player is listed, Tyler Mitchell. The stats and the score bench, quite rightly, just asking the question of the officiating crew. But there's been a number change. So Tyler Mitchell out there wearing number 15, but listed as number 7. So administrative error cleared up.
I did notice the statisticians beside us starting to have a huge panic.
There was a large gasp, wasn't there, from the right-hand side of us. All right, we're back underway, and it's going to be Tessa Morrison who finds Lauren Hippolyte. Trinity Baptiste gets a quick bite from Zoe Richards. A shot clock violation. Just that pause in play. I guess maybe just throwing the Hoiho off the rhythm as the subs come in. So Sammy Gallagher back into the game, as is Tori Dugan. Sierra Walker back into the game for the Pouākai. Here's Cheslett. Dugan. Screen there from Richards. And a pick and roll game. And a big foul there. Foul called on Tsubasa Nisbet.
Possibly just a little bit of contact. We see the replay here. Nice little pick and roll, and just a little bit of a forearm in the back there, as though Richards rolled to the basket. And often that's a tough one for the defender, because they feel like they've done everything correct. You know, they've got one hand up, but usually it's that bottom hand that is there on, you know, and just enough to put the offensive player off.
Nisbet comes down with the ball. Back after a 4-year career at Georgia Southern University is Tsubasa. Played 85 games, captained them in her senior year. Great start to her professional career as Trinity Baptiste drives and is fouled and will go to the line to shoot 2.
In the possession before, she showed her ability to put the ball on the floor. Unfortunately, the shot clock pleaded before she could get the shot off. This time she manages to find her way to the Razine foul line.
Picked by the Indiana FIBA in the 2021 WNBA draft, and therefore the connection with Tali Bevilacqua, an assistant coach with the FIBA. Finished her university career at the University of Arizona, went all the way to the NCAA championship game, lost by a single point. But hey, better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all, Phil.
I don't know, 1 point for the NCAA championship, it's tough.
Character building. Here she is for the Mainland Pouākai as well. Great to see Trinity Baptiste in the country, a host of high quality imports. Dugan, hand up from Sierra Walker, speaking of high quality imports, and here she brings the ball up for the Pouākai. Morrison, a foul. Basket won't count. It's Tori Dugan just wrestling with Trinity Baptiste a little too aggressively under the hoop.
Baptiste definitely with a mismatch down there.
Been impressed with Tessa Morrison since she's come on, Phil. Just settled this Pouākai side down, and we now have a 6-point lead after a fast start from the Hoiho.
Yeah, and off the back of Tessa Morrison knocking down 1 3, and then creating a couple of nice opportunities for her teammates.
That pass just a little wayward, so Hoiho now with a chance. And just 25 seconds to go in this first quarter, about a 4-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Zoe Richards. Finding Tyler Mitchell. Dugan's 3 from the wing. Just rattles around. Richards in there, but it's Nisbet who comes down with it. And Morrison, 6 on the clock. Her 3 ball doesn't go. Who's going to come away with it? Mitchell and Dugan. Not going to have time to throw up the specky to finish the quarter, but that is our first quarter of Tauihi Basketball Aotearoa. Fast start from the Southern Hoiho, but the Mainland Pouākai reeled them back in, and in front of a sold-out Cowles Stadium, lead by 6 at first quarter time. Welcome back. 1 quarter down here in the inaugural game of the inaugural season of Tauihi Basketball Aotearoa. The Mainland Pouākai lead 21-15. We should talk very briefly. Phil Jones is with me, Hugh Main, about the player timeout, which is a new rule introduced for Tauihi Basketball Aotearoa. And basically, it's a timeout that can be called by the player in possession. I'll give you the pocket guide right now, and we might see one today. They don't have to use them, the teams, and both coaches have intimated that they have spoken about them and practiced them and talked about strategical ways to use them. But it can be called out by a player in possession. It's a 30-second timeout that is held on the court by the teams, and there can be no coach interaction or bench interaction. So only the players on the court can be involved in the timeout.
So it gives the offensive team an opportunity to hang on to the basketball in potential situations where maybe they have an inbounds play where they can't get the ball inbounds and they can call a timeout, or whether the shot clock's running down and they actually need a little bit of an opportunity to set something up and get a quick hitter. So I think it's quite a cool change. It'll be interesting to see how it works and how much buy-in it gets from the players, and whether any of the Kiwi-based players actually understand when to use it.
It'll be great to see the decision-making pass on. Big screen from Lena Snyder. Here she is, 2 on the shot clock. Ball has to go up, turn and shot. Rebound, Tessa Boagni, as we've seen so often. Looking inside for Baptiste was Nisbet, but that ball picked off nicely by a combination of Gallagher and Richards.
And Pouākai are really looking to push the ball when they get a defensive rebound, and particularly when Tessa Boagni gets the ball and outlets it, and then they're off to the races.
Gallagher, Nisbet on her, just finds a bit of space and puts it up from the free throw line. Richards down low, but it's Baptiste who comes away with the ball. There's Gallagher throwing her body around. Nice position inside from Boagni. Kestrup with the defense. Snyder brings it up at her own pace. Looks in control out there, does Lena Snyder. Here she is in the post. Fakes one way, goes the other. Baby Hoop doesn't go. Gets her own rebound though. Eventually Boagni comes down with it. Rebound number 5 for the tall third. Elia looks inside for Golding. Walker wants the screen from Boagni. And there it is. Boagni cuts to the basket. Golding for 3. Great find from Sierra Walker, finished off by Mary Golding.
Really good patience by Walker there, and finding Golding on the 3-point line.
Snyder, 3 right out in front, and returns with one of her own. Lena Snyder.
I love Snyder's intent. She is definitely a scorer, and every opportunity she has, she's looking to score.
11 points for Snyder now as Golding drives.
May have picked up
and the first foul for Lena Snyder. She's pulling up the stat sheet nicely. Erin Whalen comes into the game. Tarai Elia takes a seat.
Well, Snyder's definitely a real focus for the Hoiho offense. You see here the penetration by Goulding, and Snyder just reaching in and picking up a quick foul. And you look at the expression on her face, she knew she'd done something wrong.
Walker. So Erin Whalen back into the game. That's coached by Sammy Gallagher. Almost came flying into Coventry Plaza.
Do understand potentially why she's picked up a few concussions in her time.
She throws herself around, doesn't she?
She's definitely playing super hard out there.
She's such a wonderful person. Got to know her a little bit at the media launch and heard wonderful things from people down in Dunedin. Richards just a little too aggressive on her second time of reaching for that ball.
Yeah, obviously, those types of concussions are very tough to come back from, and it's great to see her back out on the floor playing.
And that play was read nicely by Bronwyn Kestrup. Golding making life tough for Snyder, and does well to wrestle possession back to the Pouākai. Erin Whalen started well for the Pouākai. Sierra Walker around a big Tessa Boagni screen. Baptiste looking inside Zoe Richards again. Reading that penetrative pass really well as Zoe Richards. Snyder fighting with Baptiste down low for position. Here she is going to work. With the left hand, the baby hook. It's pretty from Lena Snyder.
Great patience by Snyder. A little body shake and then back to the left hand, a little jumper, and a nice finish.
Baptiste looking for an option, finding Boagni. There's Whalen. She has 9 points. This is Erin Whalen. Puts the ball on the floor. Spinning, stepping, up with her left. Doesn't go. Snyder with the defense and the board.
Playing both ends.
Gallagher drives. Dugan. Oh, up with the underhand.
Sort of finish.
Off the glass as we have a timeout here. First of the game, Mainland Pouākai call it. Tauihi Basketball. They lead by 4, 24-20, but we've got a contest on our hand, Phil Jones.
We sure have, and that little finish there by Dugan, just took her time, got herself into the keyway, and then looking at her, it was almost like a no-look finish. You see here, she just uses the oval screen, and then just takes her time, gets in, and up and under Tessa Boagni's long arm.
There's about a foot difference between Tori Dugan and Tessa Boagni.
A great little finish. And definitely got a ball game, 2-point ball game right now. I think the Pouākai in that beginning of that second quarter, they've got a much bigger squad out there than the Hoiho, which sometimes can work in your advantage if you can get the ball inside, and they've been looking to do that, but the Hoiho have just been a little bit better and a little bit more aggressive defensively and getting tips and steals. Coach Tauihi Basketball may look at changing the lineup and bringing some smaller guards out onto the floor just to match what the Hoiho are putting out on the floor.
Well, they don't seem to be using Ella Fotu tonight. We saw her warm up. We also saw her dash into the gym, fresh from Christchurch Airport, after representing New Zealand at the 3x3 World Cup. So I wonder if they're just going to play it careful with Ella.
We were having a little laugh earlier about how to say
Tauihi
Basketbol. It's a real tongue twister.
It's a bit of a tongue twister. I'm glad you're the one who succumbed first, Phil. It's just tapped out of bounds, and the referees have just discussed who they saw it come off. Everyone pointing one way, everyone pointing the other. And it will be Pouākai ball.
And we see Lauren Hippolyte's check back in after that timeout.
And she'll inbound the ball to Sierra Walker. Getting through a few hands, Pouākai. Golding splits the screen. Great find to Boagni, has 2 bites of the cherry and eats it all on the second. Selby Cheslett getting ready to check back in for the Hoiho as Tori Dugan goes to work. Snyder, ball on the floor, ball on the string, and a foul as well for Lena Snyder. Mary Golding called for it, so called on the floor, the foul, as Cheslett checks back into the game.
You see here, Snyder trying a few up and unders and step throughs, and Pouākai just a little bit aggressive on the defensive end.
All sorts of hands in the cookie jar there. It's Olivia O'Neill out there as well. See Zoe Richards take a break as Cheslett is into the game. Sets the screen for Bronwyn Kestra. Here she is in good position. Fires it back out to Kestra. The 3 ball is up. Doesn't drop. Good rebound from Sierra Walker, who is beginning her professional career here in Aotearoa after a 5-year collegiate career. The last 2 with Gonzaga University, which is where Selby Cheslett played as well. Great off-ball work from Boagni. Can't get the jumper to go. How's that work though from Mary Golding? Up with the right hand. Cheslett with the board. Snyder going to work. Olivia O'Neill's not going to get away with that one.
Give a little cuddle on the baseline.
Subs here. Mawate Breen checks back in for the Hoiho. Tori Dugan takes a seat. Walker trying to find someone, finding Erin Whalen. She was running downhill when she got that ball. The footwork, the finish, Erin Whalen somehow.
Walker's doing a really good job of getting the Pouākai into their offences, and just really like her patience on the ball and making good decisions when she's passing.
You see Mary Golden called for her second foul. See the replay here, the GJ Gardner Holmes replay. That's Whalen turning the corner, stepping through and finishing nicely.
She's had a nice start to her Tauihi Basketball Aotearoa season.
11 points for Whalen. Screen set by Cheslip as Olivia O'Neill. The wonderful hop, drives, reverse layup doesn't go. Boagni brings down another board. Number 7. Fulfern centre. Puts up the 3 at the other end. Tessa Boagni. Rebound. It's a 3-ball.
She was doing nothing but shooting that as soon as she got the ball.
Nice pass. Tyler Mitchell down there. Her legal number as discussed. Wearing number 15 is Tyler. Tessa Boagni, of course, daughter of Kerry Boagni. An import in the Men's National League. Sister of Shivana Palmas, another tall turn. As Goulding drives. Pass fake, finish. Mary Goulding. And we have a timeout here. Southern Hoiho, Charles Nix wants to talk it over as the Pouākai just pull out to a 9-point, I should say an 11-point lead with 3 minutes 21 to go in the first half.
And Pouākai coming out of that previous timeout, obviously what they talked about, and they've managed to come out and execute it very well, which has pushed this lead out to 11. I'm sure Coach Charles Nick will be having a chat about what's going out on the floor and trying to stop a bit of this. Penetration is really hurting them at the moment, and also closing them out on the 3-point line as the Pouākai have knocked down the last couple. You just see,
there's a bit of gasps around the crowd as the workers from the Pouākai who are firing out the t-shirts are having mixed results. One just went crazy and almost took out our cameraman, and then one just limply fell out the gun, as you see on the right side of your screen. That one equally as bad.
Obviously used all the energy in the first one, which went up to a cameraman, which will be about a good 30 metres away from the court.
So the Pouākai come back out. 4 out of their 5 players in that huddle, locals. Hippolyte, Goulding, Morrison, Boagni. Morrison and Boagni both Tessas, so they go by Timo and Tebow. Tessa Morrison, Timo, Tessa Boagni, Tebow. That might just be me who calls them that, but I'd like it to catch on. Definitely Tessa Morrison goes by Timo, and I'm trying to work Tebow into the rotation.
I'm sure there'll be a good 1-2 punch in this league.
Chesto driving is Moate Breen. It's a nice floater off the backboard. It's Morrison. Whalen looking down low for Hippolyte, who fires it off to Goulding, whose 3-ball is good from the corner. And a double fist pump from coach Tully Bevilacqua.
That's a tough pass by Whalen to find Hippolyte cutting through the paint like that.
Snyder finds O'Neill. This resets looking inside. Snyder trying to draw a foul down low from Whalen, but no whistle coming. That's out of bounds, so Pouākai ball. Tsubasa Nisbet checks back into the game. Tessa Boagni takes a seat, and another timeout. 2 in quick succession from the Southern Hoiho as Charles Nix doesn't like what he sees.
He gives 2 timeouts a half, not including the player timeout, obviously, which potentially we could see. And they talk about that, but I don't think it's a bad timeout, just another settler for his team, and make sure that they understand exactly what they're trying to run out there. They've done a good job executing, and I think trying to get the ball into Snyder's hands important. But the other players have to be aware of probably the attention she's going to be getting from the Pouākai and making sure that they're moving and getting available so they can be ready to catch and shoot or finish at the rim. Another good crowd in Cowles Stadium tonight.
Another loud one in the cauldron. Fans young and old. It's such a great following of basketball here in Aotearoa. Great club scene, social leagues, and it translates to the professional leagues too. Here's Morrison, involved in every inch of basketball in Christchurch as Hippolyte's three just doesn't drop. Goulding comes down with the ball though. Here's Whalen. Goulding clapping furiously for the pass. Morrison 4 on the shot clock. Goes up, goes down. Timo from out in front.
Timo from Timo, is it?
No, that's from Mary Goulding.
Very good.
Well, we do need some Anthony Morrison action out there for that to work, Phil. You've ruined my line for when that does happen. Snyder going to work down low. Draws a foul off Whalen, who owns up immediately. Trinity Baptiste ready to check into the game. Also for Whalen, Zoe Richards and Sammy Gallagher come in for the Southern Hoiho. To see that foul, just a grab of the jersey. Back with the live action now, and it's Zoe Richards. Gallagher, Morrison in front of her. Slide inside to Cheslet, towering above the rest. Gallagher, three ball doesn't drop. Who comes down with it? Well, eventually it's Tessa Morrison after a bit of pinball in there. Goulding thought about it. Gallagher changes her mind. Baptiste on the wing, puts up a three. In and out from Trinity. Richards with the board. White to Green up with the underhanded left. It doesn't go. Goulding hits the floor.
Really impressed with Mary Goulding and the way she's playing at both ends of the court. She's aggressive offensively and defensively. She's making some good decisions. See Samara Gallagher
getting away with that one, Sammy Gallagher. right in front of everyone. We saw that. You know what's funny? Those two, that foul there, which was Gallagher on Mary Goulding. You see that.
See Mary Goulding stepping in to try and take the charge there.
The no court. Those two were at the media launch just the other day laughing, and I said, you guys aren't going to be this friendly on the court with each other. And they said, no way. And that was a good sign of it. There's a cheap shot from Gallagher, is rightly punished by referee Marty Davison, but Hoiho will come away with it with some good defense. Dugan back into the game, finds Snyder into Richards. So Richards up to Selby. Cheslet, three ball. Doesn't go, and then it'll go out of bounds towards the Pouākai bench.
Possibly not where Coach Nix would want Selby Cheslet shooting from.
I guess, for the most part, they don't know. You know, like I said, she only arrived today. But yes, not known for her three-point prowess. Had her first shoot around today with the team. Hippolyte is known for her three-point prowess. That one off the back line. Gallagher in there with the rebound. 39-25, the Pouākai lead. Great pass, Sammy Gallagher to Zoe Richards.
Beautiful pass from Gallagher.
Half-time looms as that one doesn't drop, and it's the Mainland Pouākai, Phil, the home team, who lead 39-27. .26, I should correct myself. As the teams just discuss where they're going to go to the locker room and stay out here, the Pouākai. They are on their way to the locker room. Just a little bit of confusion there as Tali Bevilacqua talks to her staff. The Hoiho are off into the locker room. And we will hear from player very shortly. As we see some of the Canterbury Rams in the building watching on, which is great to see. Ahead of their outings this weekend. It's Lena Snyder and Erin Whalen, respectively, for their teams, who lead the way in a point-scoring fashion. Snyder with 13, Whalen with 11 on this historic night, and let's hear from one of the tall ferns from the mainland Pouākai, Tessa Boagni, who's with Phil.
Tessa, pretty good half from you guys. How are you feeling out there?
Yeah, not bad. I think there were a bit of nerves in the first few minutes, but we settled down and we're starting to shoot well, so hopefully we continue going.
Yeah. It's been a while since you've played a bit of basketball, obviously, personally, so how are you feeling in your own game and moving into the second half?
Good, huffing and puffing a little bit, but it's so nice to be out here in front of this Christchurch crowd and with sellout. It's awesome.
And second half, what do you think you guys need to do to come out with the win?
Just pick it up defensively, crash the boards and keep shooting.
Good luck.
Tessa Boagni there, enjoying her first half of basketball from the mainland Pouākai, as are we. They lead 39-26 here at Cowles Stadium. We'll be back with some stats and analysis after the break here on the home of sport, Sky Sport. Welcome back to Cowles Stadium, halftime here in the first ever game of GJ Gardner Home's Tauihi Basketball Aotearoa, and it's the mainland Pouākai who lead their neighbours to the south, the southern Hoiho, 39-26. Hugh Bain here alongside Tall Black's great Phil Jones, and Phil Jones will be remiss to not mention that your daughter Maya is of course part of this mainland Pouākai setup. One of the young players on the roster, not here tonight. She represents her country overseas, following in the footsteps nicely.
She is, yeah, and she's due to step onto the court in Jordan in about 25 minutes to play their semi-final against Japan. So wishing them all the best in their semi-final and trying to get a win in that qualifying tournament. And yeah, she would be loving to be here right now. I think obviously she thrives under any sort of basketball environment, and particularly the new coach for the Pouākai. I imagine she would learn a lot from her, and yeah, I'm definitely sure she's missing out, but she's not missing out, if you know what I mean.
And your wife, Maya's mum, Kat, of course, former member of the Nelson Sparks, is part of the coaching setup here, but instead playing proud mum over in Jordan with the New Zealand under-17 siders. They've just qualified for the World Cup, so congratulations to them as we run through the stats here at halftime between the Pouākai and the Hoiho. Erin Whalen, Lena Snyder, the two Americans leading the way for their side. Both going on runs at various times for their team, but it's been that work of some of the Kiwis. Mary Golding popping up a lot in this game, Phil.
Yeah, I think you look at the scorecard for the Pouākai, it's pretty balanced. Whalen obviously leading the way with 11, but everybody else is chipping in, and that's what's doing the damage for the Pouākai, whereas Snyder is really the main focus for the Hoiho. I think if they can manage to get a little bit more contribution from a few of the other players, then they'll be able to bridge this gap, and I think we'll be in for a pretty close event.
Yeah, absolutely, we can, and I think we'll see the Hoiho go to Lena Snyder a lot in the second half. So we'll see the steals. You know, Tessa Boagni mentioned nerves, and you know, you yourself have played in many a big game, from season openers to grand finals, international, domestic, and when do those nerves settle?
They never settle. I get nervous before a Night Riders club game. Well, I think it's just natural to be nervous. I think nervous energy can be really good, and you know, I think you just let it take its course and go with it, and go in there and just do what you can control. You know, you can play hard on the defensive end, and when the ball comes to you and you're open, you've got to be aggressive and look to shoot. And I think if you do that, you'll set yourself up for a pretty good performance.
Well, the future members and players in Tauihi Basketball Aotearoa out there entertaining the crowd at halftime. The third quarter is to come after the break. The Mainland Pouākai lead the Southern Hoiho 39-26 here on Sky Sports. See you soon. Just out there working hard and getting balls back, and getting a few touches, get ahead much. Welcome back to Cowles Stadium here in Ōtautahi, Christchurch, where the Mainland Pouākai lead the Southern Hoiho 39-26. Third quarter, just under a minute away. As you see the Pouākai listening closely to coach Tali Bevilacqua. And there's the Southern Hoiho. And just on the far right of your screen, just stepped out of frame actually. We should mention the Southern Hoiho team manager, Lisa Warburton. Legendary Tall Fern, over 100 times she's played for the Tall Ferns. She's just on the far right of your screen, masked up. There's Lisa, and never far away from the basketball in Dunedin.
No, she's obviously very experienced and played a massive number of games for the Tall Ferns, and also on the previous WNBLs here in New Zealand, and also overseas in other countries. And she'll be another valuable member for these younger players of the Hoiho to obviously learn from her. And I'm sure that she could probably still lace them up and get out there and play if she wanted to.
Certainly can. And smiles as the teams take the court for the second half. And the Pouākai already got the individual handshakes on the go, I just noticed. And Lauren Hippolyte, Sierra Walker. The backcourt combo.
Something I was never coordinated enough to do. Was
all the rest of your teammates had 1A, but not old Jonesy in the corner. Back underway, and it's Sierra Walker. Tori Dugan on her. Here's Aaron Whalen. Led the way scoring-wise for the Pouākai in the first half. Hands it off to Hippolyte. Pass fake, high off the glass, but Richards comes down with the board. Quiet first half for Zoe Richards. She'll look to get her hands on the ball a lot more in the second half. Here she is, driving, stepping. Good defense from Tessa Boagni though.
Boagni, really good job of just meeting Richards at the point of release.
Who's that diving on the floor?
That is Gallagher.
Let me guess, yeah. Okay. Samara Gallagher. Almost taking out Mary Golding. So see the replay here. Gallagher with a big body contact from Golding and straight into the LEDs right in front of Coventry Plaza.
Straight into the TJ Gardner sign. Managed to move it a good half a foot too.
She gave it a shunt, yeah. That's for sure. All right, back underway as Golding finds Walker. Driving. It's Golding. Gallagher keeping her hands out. 2 on the shot clock. It's got to go up. It does from Walker. Short.
Looked it out of the hand from where we were sitting, just a little bit short.
A good defensive set from the Southern Hoiho, led by the tenacious Samara Gallagher at that end. And Snyder. Dugan cleans it up. Step back, finds a bit of space, and goes to Snyder. Puts the ball on the floor. There's Lena Snyder. Off balance. Bank doesn't open for her. Golding comes the other way. Whalen to her right, and that's who she finds. 3 from the wing. Doesn't go.
Pretty sure Whalen thought that was going down. She was on her way back.
Here's Olivia O'Neill. That one does go for the Southern Hoiho. 10-point game early in the third quarter.
Hoiho has just come out with a little bit more intent in the second half, especially on the defensive end.
Hippolyte, that's a Walker. They go inside to Boagni. Good position. Richards came over. Called for a foul.
I think we may just see here on the replay that probably can't see it, but Richards ran away and then realised she had to come back, and she was just caught out of position as Boagni turned around to finish.
Second foul on Zoe Richards. As Tessa Boagni steps to the line. Working on what could be a tidy double-double for Tebow. That's a 6th point. She has 8 rebounds. Absolutely dominated the last iteration of what was in the South Women's NBL.
She's just efficient. She doesn't make too many mistakes. She shoots a pretty good clip and rebounds really well. So she gets herself on the right spots on the floor.
There she is, in the right spot on the floor, coming away with the steal. Walker dictating traffic as every good point guard should. Back to Wagner. You won't mind shooting that.
Snyder managed to get
Snyder
a nice
got a hand on
it.
it. There's a foul.
It's an offensive foul down low, is it? Or I think it. Wagner was trying to post up, and there been a foul.
Olivia O'Neill called for the foul. Her second, so Pouākai will go again. Drew Whalen, Golding, and Gallagher on skates. Solver stands up in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, it's always funny when the crowd see one of the defensive players fall over. Even if it's just a slip, they think someone's been crossed up.
Yeah. There's Zoe Richards, and that'll feel good for Zoe as the 3-ball goes from right out in front. Walker on a nice move, and there's Lauren Hippolyte. Golding with the board, the putback. As Trinity Baptiste gets ready to check back in for the Pouākai. They've opened their lead out to 11 again. Richards, who most recently played for the Rockingham Flames over in Western Australia. That pass just a little out of the zone of Elena Snyder's reach.
Just a bit strong from Richards.
Kestrup getting ready to come back into the game for the Hoiho. Sierra Walker surveys her options, and there's one little baby step too many from Erin Whalen, who knew it straight away. So Kestrup checks in for Gallagher. Who leaves the court with a beaming smile on her face, and that pass is a little wayward. Luckily, Tori Dugan's got the pace to go and get it. Snyder stopping on a dime, turning. Oh, that's lovely from Lena Snyder.
2 feet in the paint, just patience. Nice up fake, spin move, easy finish. Wasn't easy, but she made it look easy.
There's Whalen. Can she answer the other end? Step up with her left. She can. Those two having a battle. O'Neill pulls up from 2-point land, banks it in. Olivia O'Neill for 2. There's Whalen. 6 on the shot clock. Good hand though from Snyder. There she is. She's going to go to work on Lauren Hippolyte. Do well to force her wide, but Richards comes down with the offensive board. Dugan, step back 3, short. Mary Goulding with the board. Her 6 to go with 10 points for Mary. Baptiste. Strong drive across the baseline.
Too strong down there. I think Snyder really needs to get a bit of a breather here. Really labouring back on defence. She's definitely working very hard out there, and I think this little rotation of subs will help her get a bit of a breather.
That's O'Neill who takes a seat. As Mawate Breen checks back into the game, as Tully Vervalappa just ponders her next move. As
this lead just seems to be bouncing around between 9 and 11 points for the Pouākai at the moment.
Just keeping a bit of daylight as Tessa Morrison's back out on the floor. An impressive first half. Baptiste stepping, finding, but that's come off Golding, so it will be Hoiho ball. Mawate Breen and Hippolyte. Yep, Hippolyte illustrating well that it was Mawate Breen who instigated all of that contact. Right in front of referee Marty Davison.
Just doing a good job of just that off arm, just extending there by Mawate Breen.
And just a little bit proud of herself to get the call as well, which is great to see. A competitive figure is Lauren Hippolyte, and She draws another one, this time off the Hoiho other guard, which is Tori Dugan. Just Morrison looking to turn the corner. Mary Golding doesn't get it to go. Who's going to come down with that one? Baptiste does very well to retain possession for the Pouākai. She's driving around Richards. That's strong, that's smart. It's a finish from Trinity Baptiste. Morrison looking to take the screen at half court. No whistle. Dugan trying to find a chink in the Pouākai armour. Snyder down low. Running hook this time. She's got all the moves, does Lena Snyder.
Yeah, I think if the Hoiho could just get the ball to Snyder, it's pretty tough to stop.
Aaron Whalen looking to say, anything you can do, I can do better. Those two are going tit for tat here at Cowles Stadium. This time Snyder on the floor, takes the contact and one, down it goes. Lena Snyder to the Rosine foul line.
You can see why she led her school
in everything.
In everything, yeah. She is just a handful to play against. Puts the ball on the floor, takes a lot of contact, still presence of mind to finish. Get the ball up on the backboard and drops it in nicely.
Timeout here from Tauihi Basketball in the Mainland Pouākai.
The Hoiho would just be talking about, they can just weather the storm from the Pouākai and manage to string a few defensive stomps together. And because at the moment they're just trading baskets, they're doing a good job of keeping the score at 9 to 11 points. But if they can string a few stops in a row and get a few scores, obviously that's going to close the gap and put a little bit of pressure on the home team and see what happens to them.
We talked about in the men's league a lot, the South's NBL, Phil, how form and everything had changed so much, so drastically from the start of the season. I don't expect a similar, as drastic change in Tauihi, just because all the imports are here from the start, which is we didn't see in the South's NBL. But some, like Selby Chesley, have just arrived, so certainly some bedding in to be done. We'll see these teams just improve over the next 8 weeks ahead of the semi-finals and the final to be held at Trafalgar Centre in Nelson at the end of August. It's going to be exciting, and this is the base of which we're starting from. We're in for a good season.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. What we're seeing now is some very tidy basketball. Both teams are executing very well and showing their abilities and skills to be able to score the basketball, which is what people want to watch, right? They want to see buckets. They want to come here and see teams scoring lots of points, and we're seeing that tonight.
If you're a Southern Hoiho fan, you're very excited about Lena Snyder, who has 20 points with 3 minutes 30 to go in this third quarter. Here's Whalen. Morrison hits Moate, Breen to bite, but the jump shot doesn't go.
No, the nice little uptake and got herself to a good spot on the floor to shoot from.
Snyder spots a gap and goes right at it. Gets her own rebound, or fights for her own rebound with Selby Chesley, but it comes off one of them. So it will be Pouākai ball.
Disappointed with herself there. She got herself in a good spot on the floor and just couldn't quite convert.
Aaron Whalen and Mary Goulding take a seat. Mary Goulding, who came up to us and had a chat to us before the game, and said she's had a tummy bug all week and isn't sure how much she'll play tonight. Just a lazy 10-6 so far.
Yeah, she's had a good game.
Snyder, and that might be Hoiho ball. It is. Just forcing it onto the body of Trinity Baptiste. Baptiste doing well just to put the pressure on Cheslake, and it's Pouākai's turn to force the turnover. Trinity Baptiste doing well. Here she is, ball in hand. Right, Elia, baseline, jumper goes for Elia. Snyder, quick first step to go around Nisbet. There's the left hand off the glass. Just as we get this floor mopped up. A couple of wet spots, I think, from a few players hitting the deck. Tauihi Basketball takes it as a chance to get Sierra Walker back into the game. We see the pressure from Baptiste and Hippolyte. It's that spot on the floor that's getting a mop. Lauren Hippolyte was lying on. Back underway, Sierra Walker, ball in hand.
See a little bit of extended pressure here by the Hoiho.
Still no sign of a Sal's player timeout, Phil. Something that will come more naturally as the season comes on. Morrison, 2-1 on the shot clock, has to go up. It does, but after the buzzer. So good defense from the Southern Hoiho. Here they come. Green, just a pull up from the Razine foul line. That's easy baskets for the Southern Hoiho. And that lead drops to 8. Morrison steps into a 3. Off to the right.
That's the right shot by Morrison. Got to shoot that when she's wide open.
A couple of Tool Ferns bigs come back into the game, and Zoe Richards and Tessa Boagni. Pass, Elena Snyder just has to lean over the precipice to make sure it doesn't go out of bounds. She wants it back to Snyder, but Hoiho will go the other way to Chestnut. Drop it into Snyder. Foul on the floor.
There's Nisbet with the foul.
Just
grabbing the jersey. Snyder, she's cutting across the lane.
Anything to try and slow her down, right?
And sometimes when you get a scorer like that, you've got to do a couple little things every now and again, just trying to get them out of their rhythm.
Of course, you're speaking from the experience of people doing it to you, right?
Absolutely, 100%.
Cheslet with the offensive board, the finish, the foul, to the line she goes, Shelby Cheslet.
She was pretty pumped after that one.
Later Snyder runs in.
Just off camera there, didn't quite catch it on the replay. But,
caught the flex though.
Offensive rebound and one opportunity.
Popular TikToker is Shelby Cheslet. Over 400,000 followers. There's Lena Snyder. Boagni's fouled as she reaches high for the rebound. She might have copped a blow there, Tessa Boagni.
Snyder just a little bit frustrated with herself. Two bites of the cherry and just couldn't quite convert.
Tessa Boagni will head to the other end of the court. Just moving maybe a little gingerly there is Boagni. Born in Nelson before moving to Christchurch as a young girl. The Christchurch Girls High. There's a wee son, Noah, who was the star of the Tool Ferns Asia Cup trip last year. Even driving, probing down low. Oh, double dribble would be cool. Nisbet gets up a little relieved as she fell over on defense and just tripped over there.
Lost control and started dribbling again.
So Pouākai will lead by 7 now. So ever so slowly the Hoiho just creeping and shortening the deficit. Boagni double team down low and fouled. So back to the line she'll go.
She does a good job of this, Tessa. She knows how to get herself into a position where she can get herself back to the foul line and just keep that scoreboard ticking over.
This one rattles out.
And she's generally pretty good from the Razine foul line.
Oh, you jinxed it, didn't you? Cheslett with the board.
Biggest PG in the league right here.
Brings it right up. Silver Chestlett's about my height, but when I try and do that on club ball, you guys all yell at me to stop. Dugan probing. Here's Cheslett. A big stride, big pivot foot, looking for the ambitious pass down low, just out of reach of Lena Snyder.
Right idea, just wrong angle, really. Tough pass. And the Pouākai just really focusing in on Snyder at the moment, making it hard for her to catch the ball.
Bit of pressure from the Hoiho, and they've got to get it at halfway, and halfway sharpish. They do just in time. Oh, Tsubasa Nisbet with the crossover. Too strong from Ilya, but Boagni, right place, right time. Now it's Tali Bevilacqua calling for the pressure. Snyder gets Nisbet on the ground. Turnaround jumper's good. Lena Snyder. And that'll do us for the third quarter. And just little by little, the Hoiho creeping their way back into this game. They trail by 7, 56-49. 1 quarter to go here in the first ever game of GJ Gardner Holmes Tauihi Basketball Aotearoa. See you after the break.
Yeah.
Rams boys on the soil over there. Welcome back to Cowles Stadium. 1 quarter to go here in the opening battle of GJ Gardner Tauihi in 2022. And it's the Mainland Pouākai who lead 56-49 over the Southern Hoiho. Hugh Baden here alongside Phil Jones.
I think we've got a exciting last quarter on our hands here, Hugh. I don't know where the first 3 quarters have gone, to be fair, actually.
Agreed.
It has been a really good game of basketball, and you know, the time is just flowing by.
Lena Snyder, leading scorer. There she is, middle of your screen, wearing the light blue of the Hoiho. 24 points, the only Southern Hoiho player in double digits. Erin Whalen has 15. Boagni and Golding have 10 for the Pouākai. Back underway. Shelby Cheslett, Tessa Boagni. These two do battle twice more this season, at least. 3 balls short from Cheslett. Certainly not afraid to shoot them, Phil. From 3, so maybe we'll see when the legs are under after not very long flights. She'll be into it. Great find down low from Sierra Walker, and it's Tarai Elia who will head to the Resine foul line to shoot 2. Foul called on Zoe Richards.
Tsubasa Nisbet maybe off to the line. Oh no, this is Tarai.
Zoe Richards heads to the bench with her 4th foul. So Charles Nix, or Nixie as he's known by everyone, he says. We'll play a little bit careful with Zoe Richards for the rest of this game as Elia makes both her free throws. Dugan, Hoiho really want a fast start to this quarter. Dugan probing down low, finds Kestra. She spins. Good defense from Elia. They get the ball back to the Hoiho. 6 on the shot clock. Spinning is Tori Dugan, can't get it to go. Mary Golden comes down with the ball. Going to Boagni. Good hand from Snyder. Gardner Kestrup's running the floor, taking some defenders with her. Tyler Mitchell was wide open from the wing. Off the back iron. Something's going to end up in the crowd. Almost Lena Snyder. Pouākai ball.
Chislik has some extremely long arms out there. I think when you're trying to throw a post entry to one of your teammates, you've got to make sure that you're throwing it away from her.
Samara Gallagher back into the game for the Hoiho. And Erin Whalen, here she is, ball in hand, out there for the Pouākai. Walker looking to go around a Nisbet screen, instead passes the ball to Nisbet, gets it straight back. 4 on the shot clock. Pouākai struggling to come up with anything on this possession. Nisbet leaves that one well short. So Hoiho will be happy with that defensive set. As Olivia O'Neill comes back into the game for Tori Dugan. Dr. Kestrup inbounds the ball.
Watching Gallagher run a little bit, she looks like she's slavouring a little bit on one of her legs.
There she is, dropping inside to Cheslet. 4 on the shot clock. Snyder finds a bit of space, right out in front, drains a 3. Well, I'll tell you what, welcome to New Zealand, Lena Snyder.
And the Hoiho they're just not doing a good enough job at the moment getting her the ball. Like the ball needs to go through her as much as possible.
O'Neill doing well to stay in front of Sierra Walker, but just gives her a bit of space, and off to the left it goes. So, back-to-back stops for the Southern Hoiho. Tali Bevilacqua responds by putting Trinity Baptiste and Lauren Hippolyte back into the game. 6-point game, Phil Jones. Closest the deficit has been for some time. Snyder, oh, that is a crossover, up with the left, the basket doesn't go, and Baptiste comes down with the ball. Great hand from Gallagher though. And Snyder finds Sammy Gallagher, takes the contact, gets the bucket, to the line she goes.
Snyder just fell awkwardly on the ground there. She looks a little bit...
Thumbs up to the bench, and a big smile on her face.
Just slipped on the floor, great pass. And she just got a little check from behind. From Mary Goulding, I think.
Well, Sammy Gallagher, way to stick with that play. Force the turnover, gets the reward, and ends up at the Rosine foul line. So Zoe Richards into the game. Lena Snyder gets a break, and he thinks it won't be for too long. With just over 7 minutes to go.
Well, I don't think she's had a rest this half, apart from the quarter time.
Gallagher can't convert the 3-point play, but Walker knocks it out of bounds. So the Hoiho will go again from the baseline.
Tough for Whalen there, trying to box out Chislik. She's got almost a foot on her in height.
It's Bronwyn Kestra finding a curling Olivia O'Neill. Tucks it under the arm, but just lost control. And that's Mainland Pouākai possession. Four-point game, just over 7 minutes to go. Opening night of GJ Gardner Holmes' Tauihi Basketball Aotearoa, a new era in women's basketball in New Zealand. Pay parity with the men's competition, the South NBL. Fully broadcasted, every game live on Sky Television. 5 teams with a nice geographical spread across the country. Tall Ferns returning, imports here. And we've been treated to a doozy on day one. Here's Shelby Cheslett finding Zoe Richards. Hit a 3 earlier in the quarter. Instead finds Samara Gallagher. Earlier in the half, I should say. Richards this time down low under the post. Good move, but just couldn't get the finish. Golding does well.
Both teams are getting pretty decent looks at the moment, just not able to convert. And that's probably that little bit of nervousness right now with the 4-point ball game and 6 minutes to go.
Defensive foul called on Kestra.
Just trying to take the charge, but just not quite getting in front.
As predicted, it wasn't a long rest for Lena Snyder. She gets ready to check back into the game. We have a timeout from the Southern Hoiho. (58-54) here. Pouākai leads.
And we just talked earlier about the Hoiho just doing a good job of stringing some defensive possessions together, and they've managed to do that, and the Pouākai have struggled to score, and that's something that's helped them close this gap up. And you know, with four points is nothing in a game of basketball. We know 20 points is nothing in a game of basketball. It can change in a blink of an eye, but I think at the moment the game is just on a bit of a knife's edge, and the next team to make a bit of a run is probably going to be the team that will come out with the win. But 6 minutes is a long time.
We talked on our long drive down here today, Phil. Our flight was cancelled, so we had a 5.5 trek together. Bit of bonding time from Nelson to Christchurch, and we talked about how a lot of the unknowns, as with our men's competition as well, are the imports. But geez, we've been treated to some wonderful play from all the imports on display on tonight, not least Lena Snyder and Erin Whalen. Here's Shelby Cheslett with the defense. Foul called.
Yeah, and I think they'll be two imports that you'll watch in every game and go, yeah, they're definite basketball players. You know, they know the game, they know how to play, and just see Cheslett just tough. You know, a bit of contact on the arm, and you know, she's so tall and so long. She doesn't really need the action of swiping down with her hand as the action that's getting her into foul trouble, or into trouble there on that foul. If she just challenges at the point of release, there's a lot less chance of her picking up that foul.
See the banners of the Canterbury Rams in the background. I know the ownership and the management here would desperately love to hang a Mainland Pouākai one in the first season of Tauihi. We'll know that on August 27th at the Trafalgar Centre, and the inaugural champion shall be crowned. Here's O'Neill, Tessa Morrison defending her until she got slammed in the screen by Shelby Cheslett. And here's Cheslett down low, stepping. A running floater doesn't go. Whalen with the board.
I would have liked to see Cheslett follow that shot up there. I think if she'd just stayed with it, she would have come up with the O board.
Oh, Mary Golding stepping through. Everything but the finish from Mary Golding. Snyder with the board. Snyder, her 8th rebound to go with her 27 points. Takes a hit from Hippolyte. And there's the whistle from Marty Davison.
And Lauren Hippolyte's a feisty defender. You know, she's not going to back down from defending the best player on the court at the moment, and Snyder.
Gallagher and Cheslett. Take a seat. I think Shelby Cheslett is going to be trouble in this league for offences as she finds her feet. Just one practice under her belt, and that practice was a shoot-around today. Move inside to Snyder, the pass. Oh, she's surrounded by Pouākai and eventually fouled. And foul called on Trinity Baptiste.
And she is getting swarmed every time she catches the ball, Snyder. See here. Nice little...
A few fouls there. Could have been called on anyone. Tessa Morrison maybe lucky not to get called for one. Baptiste who cops it. Tessa Boagni back into the game as Baptiste takes a seat. Zoe Richards. And know Tessa Barakni well from their time in the Tall Ferns. Deep three ball from Dugan is off to the left. Hippolyte goes to get it. Comes off Olivia O'Neill. So Pouākai ball, they lead by 6. Just over 4.5 minutes to go.
And you just got to wonder which one of the Hoiho players is going to be the one to step up and help Snyder. And I think they're all doing a great job defensively. We just need a little bit more offensive input from a couple of the other players.
Whalen, deep three, doesn't go. Boagni gets the putback. Tessa Boagni has been chipping away and just adding to the scoreboard in her minutes. She has a double-double now, 12 and 11 for Tessa. Dugan turns the corner, looks inside, great pass to Zoe Richards and a smart finish too.
And Zoe Richards could be that player, and Dugan with a really nice pass, penetration and pass there.
She threaded the needle. And a smart finish from Richards under duress from Boagni. So this is just a slight height advantage over Richards. Hippolyte, Erin Whalen sliding to get 3, does so, but the pass goes to Golding when she's fouled on the floor. Snyder called for the foul, just her first foul, Lena Snyder, in this game. 27 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. See the TJ Gardner Holmes replay. Foul there. Kestrup, I should say, is called for the foul. So still no fouls for Lena Snyder. Boagni, nice pass to Golding.
Nice little inbounds play.
So Mary Golding will go to the line.
And just from that inbounds play there, you see Golding get a nice back screen straight to the basket, and great pass leading her to the hoop. One of the skills, one of the great skills that we're seeing tonight on display is the ability to pass and lead players to the hoop. Such an important part of the game. You know, if you've got a couple of players on your team like dare I say it, a Dylan Poucher or Hugh Bainan and Clubball,
Stop it.
It helps. You know, it helps with the ability to be able to finish baskets and make baskets, because it puts you in the right spots on the floor to be able to score.
It's the nicest thing anyone's ever said about me. Here's Snyder handing off to Olivia O'Neill. Finds a bit of space. Morrison a little late with the defense, but it's Gallagher. Big offensive rebound. Sammy Gallagher. Will it lead to a three-pointer? Off the back iron from Richards. Gallagher again fighting for it. This time called for a foul. Just a second foul for Samara Gallagher.
She has worked hard the whole game. And, see here on the offensive rebound, athletic rebound, the first one on the kick out. She goes for another opportunity, offensive rebound. We probably don't see it off screen, but this gets called for, see, over the back on Mary Goulding.
Goulding at the line makes her first. 13 points. Mary Goulding makes them both. 3 minutes to go. Hoiho need a bit of a run here. Trail by 8. Pouākai just keeping the arm's length. Snyder, will she be the one to do it? Basket, foul, to the line she goes. On cue, Lena Snyder. And she'll go to the line looking for her 30th point of her debut.
See here, the catch at the top of the key, and so it's an area that she likes to work from. And one of the tough things about her is she's a right-handed player, but she likes to go left. And that's a tough matchup for a defender when you've got a player that likes to put the ball on their weak hand and penetrate, and is a good finisher on that side.
Remains on 29 points for now. Hippolyte Boagni screaming for the ball down low. She has a mismatch on O'Neill and she takes full advantage of it. Does Tessa Boagni. 14 points to go with 11 rebounds for Thibault.
Just too much height for Boagni there against O'Neill.
Gallagher, nice screen from Zoe Richards. Here she is down low. Goulding does well, forced the turnover. Those two were teammates over in Western Australia just a year ago. Baloncesto this time with less of a mismatch. So she passes it out to Whalen. Looks inside for Baloncesto, but it comes off the foot of Olivia O'Neill. So Pouākai ball from the baseline. 2 minutes to go in this one. And an 8-point lead to the home team as Shelby Cheswick gets ready to check back into the game. You hear the Erin Whalen drive. Sammy Gallagher takes a seat. More subs.
Wholesale subs coming in.
Bronwyn Kestra back into the game. Sierra Walker back into the game. Goulding shrugs off one defender and gets the mid-range to go.
Goulding has had a heck of a game.
16 points now, and there's a turnover. It's going through the hands of Snyder. Lauren Hippolyte receives the plaudits from her bench. And we have a timeout here from Charles Nex and the Southern Hoiho. 10 points, a minute 51 to go. The spirits are high on that Mainland Pouākai bench and in this crowd here at Christchurch.
The Pouākai have just managed to push the score out to 10 points. And, mainly through, I think, their intensity on defense, and Mary Goulding has just really stepped up in the last few minutes and made a couple of big plays defensively and also managed to score a couple of buckets. You see Lauren Hippolyte just forcing a turnover there in the last possession, giving them another shot on offense.
2 steals for Goulding. Samara Gallagher, won't surprise you, leads the game in steals. She has 3. Captain of the Hoiho. What a fantastic crowd here on the opening night of Tauihi. A lot of hard work from a lot of people behind the scenes to get this league up and running, and across these 5 teams who have done a fantastic job in not a lot of time to get these rosters together, arrange travel plans, bring people in from all around the world, sell tickets, sell memberships, organise uniforms, and they've done it all in about 6 months. And Sierra Walker puts up the 3, and that goes down very well at Cowles Stadium.
And I think that may be the second shot we've seen Walker take tonight. She's done a really good job of facilitating for the Pouākai.
Snyder pulls up from the elbow, Baloncesto with a big block. And the Pouākai spreading their wings here down the stretch of this one, under 90 seconds to go. Erin Whalen threads the needle to Baloncesto, who finishes. Snyder thought about the 3, resets to Dugan. She won't think twice about this one. Lena Snyder leaves it short though. Goes again on the rebound. Rebounded by Mary Goulding. Number 9 for Mary to go with her 16 points. And Snyder maybe just a bit of cramp creeping in. She is moving a little gingerly now.
Let's hope it's just cramp, nothing else.
Whalen, Manchester down low. Oh, good hand from Bronwyn Kestra. Plucked that out of the air. Here's Snyder. Won't stop another 3 ball, and that one does go. I think it is cramp. Yeah. So we have a timeout from the Mainland Pouākai.
It's funny how the cramp goes when you get
when you can jack up in a wide open 3.
Yeah.
Oh, she has put on a valiant effort for her team, which will almost certainly end in a losing effort today. But what an introduction to Tauihi Basketball Aotearoa for Lena Snyder. She now has 32 points on debut. 73-61. More basketball to come from Tauihi Basketball Aotearoa over the weekend. Like I said, 72 games over the next 59 days. In the combination of both our national leagues, the South NBL and GJ Gardner at Tauihi. The Tokomanoa Queens, our first look at the team from the Wellington Manawatu region. On Saturday at 3 o'clock against the FI. Absolutely a new era for basketball in the Bay of Plenty region. The FI encompassing the Bay of Plenty, Waikato and Gisborne. We'll be joined, of course, by the Stingrays in the South NBL in 2024. So plenty to be excited about in that part of Aotearoa. Of course, the Northern Kahu get underway on Sunday as well. One of the strongholds of basketball in Aotearoa, Auckland, Northland region. Looking to make a splash this year in Tauihi. Pass from Aaron Whalen is deflected, but helpfully to Hippolyte. It leaves it strong. Whalen, basket won't count. Shot clock violation. So the Pouākai using every second available to them.
Yeah. Just over-executed that play out of the timeout.
Well, it's been a fantastic game of basketball. It's Mainland Pouākai who's going to come away with the win here tonight, Phil, but we've been treated to a spectacle worthy of the historic night we've witnessed. Keshup inside to Cheslick. And she'll have the last say, will she? Shelby Cheslick. It is a win on this night, the opening night of GJ Gardner Home's Tauihi Basketball Aotearoa for the Mainland Pouākai. 73-63 over their neighbours to the south, the Southern Hoiho. But plenty to like from both teams in this one. Just a wonderful evening to see the quality of basketball we've just seen from imports and Kiwis alike. And the best thing is we've got 8 more weeks of it. Still Elefota, you see, walking through, shaking hands to come into action for the Pouākai. And that's a tasty addition for them. And of course, some players who still get their legs under them for the Southern Hoiho, the likes of Shelby Cheslick, and some imports who have arrived late. Let's hear now, shall we, from one of the players of the game, albeit in the losing effort, 32 points for Lena Schneider. She's with Phil. We'll just have a little microphone issue there, so come back here as we see the Mainland Pouākai. Phil, just get that sorted, and we'll head back to Phil.
First hit out for you guys. You had a big performance by you. How are you feeling about things? And obviously you've got another game this weekend. What do you need to improve on going forward?
Yeah, coming in, we just wanted to represent the region and really put up a good showing. And tonight was the first night we had our whole squad together. So just taking the pieces that we had tonight and working with them, and we have something to work with now. So we know where we're going and we know we're headed in the right direction.
And I see you're cramping a little bit at the end. The body's okay?
Yeah, all good. Just the first road trip. You got to get used to what you need to do to your body, I guess. Yeah.
You're very impressive. So good luck for the rest of it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Eventually, Lena Snyder there. What a game she put on for Southern Hoiho. Plenty to be excited about if you're a Southern Hoiho fan going forward. 32 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists for Lena. Mary Goulding over to talk to Phil. As we have a look at the stats running across your screen there on this the opening game of Tauihi Basketball Aotearoa, and Mary is with Phil, so we'll head over to Phil's got Mary Goulding.
Mary, great win by you guys. Obviously, you weren't feeling so well coming into the game. You were very impressive. How are you feeling now?
Good. Honestly, I think I'm going to sleep well tonight.
And it's nice having a coach like Tally here with you. What are you learning from her?
You know, she's had so much experience, and she's quite relentless, and she does lower her standards for us, which is awesome. You know, she's really big on defense and that pressure, and yeah, like we can ask her questions. She's great with feedback, and we all respect her. So honestly, we're just really honoured to have her as a coach, and just like sponges, trying to learn as much as possible.
You guys are very impressive tonight. Good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you so much. Cheers.
They certainly were. Mary Goulding was among the most impressive tonight. 5 for 10 from the field, 16 points to go with 10 rebounds and 4 assists, a couple of steals as well. What a performance from the Mainland Pouākai as they make history tonight. Here are the games to come. The Tokomanawa Queens, Saturday 3 o'clock from Te Ropraha Arena in Porirua, will take on the Whai. Excitement abounds for both those teams over the weekend. The Southern Hoiho back in action, this time at home at the mighty Edgar Centre in Dunedin, taking on the Northern Kahu, who will back it up on Monday at 7 o'clock from the Stockyard, Franklin Pool and Leisure Centre in Pukekohe against the Tokomanawa Queens. It is the start of something very, very special, and what a start it was here in Ōtautahi, Christchurch tonight. For myself, Hugh Maynard and Phil Jones, we look forward to being with you for the next 8 weeks alongside the rest of the Sky Sport commentary crew. It's the Mainland Pouākai who come away with a historical win tonight, 73-63 over the Southern Hoiho. GJ Gardner Holmes' Tauihi Basketball Aotearoa has arrived.